Call to order the February meeting of the Knox County Board of Zoning Appeals. Madam Clerk, if you would call the roll.
Curtis Brown.
Present.
Jonathan Repass. Greg Bellitz.
Here.
Ashley Williams.
Here.
Cecil Anderson. John Elliott.
Here.
Sherry Garrett.
Present.
Philip Graves.
Present.
Paul Huff.
Present. If you would, please join me in a pledge.
Cecil's here.
Pledge of allegiance.
I didn't hear you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Members of the Board of Zoning Appeals are volunteers from each commission district who do not receive compensation for their work on the board or training they attend. As a quasi-judicial body, we avoid ex parte communication and conduct our business in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. My name is Paul Huff. I'm the chairman of the board. To my right is Mr. Curtis Brown, the vice chairman. To his right is Mr. Myers Morton, our law director representative. We have additional people here. Steve?
Yes, today we have myself and Miranda Ward from the Codes Office.
Very good, thank you. Our voting procedure requires a simple majority of vote of board members present. Today there are 8 members present. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Knox County Board of Zoning Appeals is authorized to grant variances and hear other matters by the Tennessee Code and Knox County Zoning Ordinance, specifically 6.60 Board of Zoning Appeals. These laws prescribe strict parameters, the meeting of which is required to grant a variance. The burden of proof that an application meets these parameters rests on the applicant. Quoting from Knox County Code of Ordinances 6.60.04 variances, the purpose of the variance is to modify the strict application of the specific requirements of this ordinance in the case of exceptionally irregular, narrow, shallow, or steep lots, or other exceptional physical conditions whereby such strict application would result in practical difficulty or unnecessary hardship which would deprive an owner of reasonable use of their land. The variance shall only be used where necessary to overcome some obstacle which is preventing an owner from using their property as the zoning ordinance intended. For each matter, the clerk will read the request into the record. The chair will then ask if the applicant is present. The chair will then ask if there is opposition or other speakers who wish to present. You do not have to come forward at this time. Once we determine the speakers for an item, we will call on the governmental agencies such as Knox County Codes, Planning, or Engineering to make statements regarding the facts pertinent to the property and background of the request. Board members may ask questions of the governmental agencies once they have made their statements. The chair will then call on the applicant to come forward, state their name and address for the record, and present their evidence and reasoning supporting the granting of a variance. If there is no opposition, the applicant has 10 minutes to present their case. If there is opposition, the applicant and opposition each have 15 minutes. After the applicant's presentation, the board members may ask questions of the applicant. The chair will then call for opposition or other parties who have 15 minutes to speak. This 15 minutes applies to all parties, so if there are multiple parties that wish to speak, please determine how you're going to divide your time beforehand. After the opponents present their opposition, the board may ask questions of the opponents. Finally, there will be a discussion of the case by the board, during which time the board members may ask further questions of the parties that have already testified. The board will then make any determinations it feels necessary. Our bylaws allow an applicant at the initial hearing of a matter to request a deferral of 30 or 60 days without prejudice. In the event of a deferral of an application or failure to appear, any opponents may be heard on the record at a meeting where the application they oppose appears on the agenda. Mr. Law Director, if you would, swear in our speakers.
Well, each of you that will be testifying and giving evidence before this board, please stand and raise your right hand, please. Do each of you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Are there any changes or additions, corrections to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, there's going to be a correction to one of the deferred items, item 5B. I think we would let the applicant, whenever he gets up, tell us what he actually wants, but there will be a change to the request.
Okay, I understand that
Oh,
4B has
Yes.
been, 4D has also been deferred,
It's,
or withdrawn, rather.
4D has been withdrawn, yes.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, and 4E is being changed from 40 feet to 30 feet, the request.
Okay. Okay, beginning with the first item on the agenda, item 4A.
4A is a request of Eduardo Adam for waiver of front yard setback from 35 feet to 10 feet. The property is located at 11452 Couch Mill Road, parcel ID 102LA018. Property is zoned RA and F in the 6th Commission District.
Is the applicant present? Yes. Is there any opposition to this? Any statements from codes on this?
Yes, if the engineering would ask if the board decides to issue this variance, that we also require them to have a turnaround driveway so they're not backing out into Couch Mill Road.
Okay. If you would, please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, my name is Eduardo Adame, and what was the other question? My address?
Address, yes, please.
Where I live is 127 Finley Drive, Lenoir City, Tennessee, 37771.
Okay. And pursuant to code 6.60.04, what evidence do you have that supports your request?
Yes. So, thank you for having me, Mr. Chairman and the board. Yes. To what you had stated on 6.60.04. The purpose of this, is to modify the strict application, such as steep lots or other exceptional physical conditions. So this lot, obviously located on Couch Mill Road, we purchased it last October, I believe. And just looking at the terrain, it's a little bit over an acre. Yep, thank you for bringing that drawing up there. Yes, so as y'all can see, the first major obstacle is that storm drain, that flowage easement. So obviously you cannot disturb the natural path and flow of rain, stormwater. It needs to go where it wants to go. So even if I were to put a storm pipe there, it wouldn't allow for any sort of foundation to be installed there. So that's one of the first strict conditions there, or really limiting factors. The secondary thing y'all can see is the grade. That it's pretty steep. So just looking at it, that's kind of we're just looking at maybe a smaller home, 3-2. So right now we're just kind of toying around with the dimensions and looking at the best kind of placement for that. Unfortunately, with the requirement of a 35-foot setback from the front of the property, it does push that the house back, and it does just create it more challenging from a construction standpoint. As y'all can see, the back right corner is pretty close to that storm ditch. And also, I believe I also attached a soil test. So for the soil test, I would need to, I think there's another one. That one's just yes, that one. So if y'all can see there, the front, because it has some cutback and eroded areas and then setbacks for the storm, I can't install a septic tank or a septic system on that upper half of the property. So where you see the larger area that was tested and it has the right soil conditions to install a septic or the drain field, that would allow the house to have that natural gravity flow into the system, the drainage system, the septic system. So even if I wanted to, if we had that kind of money to build down there, like it would still be more challenging because we have that limitation of a septic tank as well. So because of these issues, me and my wife were, considering requesting the board and for y'all's consideration to allow us to have a variance and to, I believe, the engineering department. The driveway would definitely look more along the lines of, driving down to the back of the house and kind of having because of the elevation, kind of having like a deck with like a little parking area underneath it. That way you can turn around and, not affect any traffic on Couch Mill Drive Road. Let's see.
Mr. Elliott, this is in your district. Would you like to comment?
Yeah, well, as you've heard and as you just explained, the main concern was the driveway.
Mhm.
10 feet is on close. And I think I'd also like to ask, is there any way to 12 feet, 15 feet, 17 feet, is there any way you can push it back and just give a little bit more wiggle room on front there? And I will want to say thank you for being so well organized. That's refreshing. And in the 2+ years I've been doing this, it is the most topographically challenged lot I've ever looked at. So you're pretty spot on, but we would like you to consider pushing it back as much as you can if there's any opportunity there. And then I like the idea of the driveway coming down to the side. I think that addresses that issue.
No, absolutely. Obviously, this was just a starting point as we're looking at different, plans and layouts and stuff. But to your question, absolutely, that's something that we'll be willing to adjust to just try to allow us to accommodate some sort of house plan that would, it would avoid, if you're looking at the back of the house, having to get, 20+ foot posts on the deck, right? So getting it somewhere where, from a constructability standpoint, being able to allow the masons, the framers, and the framers that are also doing the deck, just allow for that constructability of the back side of the house, right? Obviously, reaching your gutters from the front, it's manageable. It's always the back that's on these aggressive terrains that are always the hardship, if you will.
Yeah, and with the left side embankment, left corner being so close, I'm not sure how much further you could push it back, but I think any would do. And Mr. Chair, you'll have to help me. That's something we would have to choose today or defer, right? Because we'd have to get it correct.
Well, we have two deferred items from last month, one of which was a plan, a request for variance, and the applicant really didn't know what he wanted to build. this sounds an awful lot like that. We're being asked to grant a variance for a house that we don't see a plan. I don't have any idea what the house is going to look like. And we're not really good at enforcing this, but we do have plan requirements that are supposed to go with these applications. This has got none of those things, but not many. I would really like to see a house plan for what you plan to build that would support why you can't move it further back than 10 feet before we move forward with it. So I would definitely suggest that you defer until at least another 30 days so that you can come back to this board and tell us exactly what you want to build, where it's going to be, what the driveway is going to look like, because those are all questions that we have that we can't answer.
I agree with that. Yeah, this is one of those kind of the chicken or the egg, right? In my position, looking at different dimensions, I would like to know the willingness of the board with this discussion to then allow me to change the dimensions on what I know is the limiting. So to your point, you're absolutely right. And also from my standpoint, it's kind of hard to make a definite decision if I have limitations on the terrain and all these things.
Well, let me help you out on that point then. If you go through and you mitigate all the issues that you can with placement of the house, creek, the drainage, all that, the terrain is the same no matter where you put it. Okay, it's a steep lot. It's a steep lot all the way from the road all the way to the back. So whether it's 10 feet or 20 feet, it's the same steepness, okay? Now, there are other issues, soil types and that sort of thing. But if you go through all those restrictions and you figure out the best place you can put the house as far away from the road as you can get it, come back to this board, then we will talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess for one of the statements, Mr. Chairman, that you made is, kind of as you push the house back, it does create it more challenging, especially with the cars, going and turning around behind the house and having the storm ditch next to it. That is one of the hardships, one of the challenges that we face. But I understand what you're saying, that, it's still going to be challenging, but, kind of being that daylight, basement situation, it does, it would help out if I would be able to, bring it closer to the front of the property.
As I said, once you've gone through all of the restrictions and figured out the best thing you can do as far away from the road as possible, come back to us and we'll chat about it some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're certainly topographically challenged. You're doing all the right things. We have to hear from the opposition, but I would agree we need a plan, and we can't approve anything that's vague. Whatever we have to. So if it's going to be 10 feet, we got to approve 10 feet. If it's going to be 12 feet, we got to approve 12 feet. So, like you said, work through what you can. Mm-hmm. Come back with something with the driveway drawn on it, and. Okay. You're clearly meet the criteria of being in front of this board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we vote on, are you going to ask for a deferral?
I believe so.
Okay, before we vote on that, I want to give the opposition a chance to either speak today or come back in 30 days when it's deferred. I'll come back. Okay, very well. John, you want to make the motion?
Yes, I make a motion that we defer this to next month and we come back with a little bit more defined plan and vote on it then.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of deferral, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you. We'll
Thank
see
you.
you in next month.
Mr. Chairman, I hate to interrupt, but I'll just check my email, and it looks like item 5A has requested to be deferred. I would say let's give them 60 days. They say they found maybe another avenue. I just didn't want to sit through the meeting if there happened to be opposition here to that item, and then sit here and then get to it and say it's deferred. So if anybody's here for item 5A, it will be deferred at its, comes up on the agenda.
For another 60, or total 60 days.
Yes. I think we can vote on that when we get to it. I just didn't want anyone sitting here that may be in opposition.
Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of item 5A? That's Sean LeBaron. That's on 6909 Weaver Road. In that case, I'll make a motion that we defer this item 5A another 30 days.
No, let's do 60.
Oh, 60, another 60 days.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposition? All right,
Thank you.
Deferred for an additional 60 days.
Yes, thank you.
So now we're in 4B.
4B is a request of Rebecca McConkey for waiver to extend CA zoning boundary 100 feet. The property is located at 8002 Clinton Highway, parcel ID 055047. Property is zoned CA and AG in the 7th Commission District.
Is the applicant present? Is there any opposition to this? If you would, any statements from Knox County Codes? No. Please state your name and address for the record.
Okay. Name is Jacob Logan with Robert Campbell and Associates.
Did you say Robert Campbell and Associates?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, can you tell us why you need or want to extend the CA zone 100 feet?
Well, my client, McConkey Transportation, is looking to add additional parking, bus parking. And part of that parking is extended into the agricultural zoned part of the property. My understanding is that we have some topographical issues, which is the reason why we can't expand the parking into the east. Because we have to accommodate the 100-year storm event and design detention for that storm event on the east side of the property.
So if I make sure I understand what you're wanting to do, you want to extend the CA boundary 100 feet back towards Old Clinton Pike, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we believe this is appropriate considering the area is commercialized. And I mean, this business is a commercial business.
Okay, the map that you show that's kind of crosshatched, that one, you realize that crosshatched area is more than 100 feet from the current boundary, right? That would be the current boundary? I mean, that would be 100 feet.
Yes, Chairman, that right there would be the 100 feet.
So you can get 100 feet, but you can't get all of that area. Is that?
Yes, that's correct. The whole he doesn't need the whole parcel. He only needs the area. You can see on the zoning where the school bus parking will be. So that's all the area he needs.
I just wanted to make sure he was aware of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, what I didn't add was they came up and met with planning, and they were going to rezone the parcel. And we recommended them to come down here. This was the easier pathway for them. The land use place type doesn't recognize the agricultural, so it is a commercial corridor. But they could have got a rezoning, but they only need this 100 feet to do the school bus parking.
Ms. Garrett, I think in the agenda meeting, you said that you wanted to recuse yourself.
Yes, I have a relationship with the applicant, and I would think it'd be wise to recuse myself from that vote.
Well, in light of that, I will make a motion that we approve a 100-foot extension of the CA boundary on this piece of property so that the school bus parking can be accommodated.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, or excuse me, any opposition? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? None? You have your request.
All right, thank you.
4C,
4C is a request of Randall and Tracy Jenkins for waiver of periphery boundary from 35 feet to 17 feet. The property is located at 3419 Hackworth Road, parcel ID 077-OA009. Property is zoned PR in the 6th Commission District.
are you the applicant?
I'm sorry?
Are you the applicant, sir?
Yes.
Is there any opposition to this?
No.
Okay. Any statement from codes?
I'm having a hard time hearing.
We have none.
Sorry.
I will ask a question for codes. Aside from this peripheral setback of 35 feet, would 17 feet? Would 17 feet meet the rear yard setback for this property?
Yes, it does. All the interior lots have 15.
Miranda,
Thank you.
did we say 15
Um,
in the email? Should be 15. Is that correct?
If you could.
Sorry,
go
the
ahead.
request says 17 feet. It does need to be changed to 15 to match the site plan.
Oh, very good, thank you. If you could state your name and address for the record.
Randall Jenkins, 3419 Hackworth Road, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37931.
And can you tell us why you need this variance?
We graded the land already. They chose the only viable area of the land due to the topographical area of the land is 35-degree slope on most of the rear of the property. And we're hoping the board will grant us petition for a 17 or 15-foot setback so we can build a storage shed. It's a metal storage building. And I think I may include a couple of pictures of that, of one that, maybe I didn't. No, I forgot to include those. And we spent $14,000 thus far on grading as well as constructing a wall and cutting a drive to the back. And in addition to that, we made a deposit of $2,500 to the construction company to erect the building. And it's just simply due to not having good knowledge of the setback rules prior to submitting an application for the permit to build. And hoping the board will grant this petition to expedite it because we're scheduled to have the construction of this building on March the 14th.
Mr. Elliott, you're familiar with this property.
Well, great. Thanks. Again, as I said, thanks for being organized. District 6 is doing a good job today. And you are certainly topographically challenged.
Yes,
you
sir.
qualify. I'd guess the only alternative would be possibly to be a smaller building. But I'm not going to push hard for that. I think based on the topographical errors and based on the fact that you would be within the rear yard setback if it wasn't the periphery situation, I think I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve the waiver of the periphery boundary from 35 feet to 17 feet to build the 25 by 27 storage.
To 15.
To 15, thank you, pardon me.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. I do have some comments. I'm not opposed to this only because we're talking about a peripheral setback, and I personally don't really like that. peripheral setback just because it's, usually there's no particular reason for it. But I do want to say this. You're not the first person to come in here to the board saying that you started work before you got a permit, before you realized what all the rules were. There's no reason why anybody wouldn't know what the rules are. They're published. You just have to go find them or ask somebody in engineering what they are before you get started. Okay?
We actually went online to the Carnes Community website, and it's probably over 50 people that replied. Not one person knew the answer. I had 15 feet, I had 10 feet, some said 20 feet. And so obviously no one can find the correct answer. And it should have called permits to verify it before we even started construction on it, but
Absolutely.
learned a lesson.
You don't call a homeowners association, don't call your local community, whatever.
That's correct.
You call that lady right there,
Yes,
and she
yes,
will
sir.
tell you.
She's been very helpful, by the way.
Glad to hear that. So I don't know what else you got planned on the property?
Sir?
I don't know what else you got, if anything, planned for the property? Like any other buildings or structures or whatever?
No, we just need a storage shed. We bought some property in Tattle and has some farm equipment, and that's what I need the storage building for.
Well, if you do decide to build something, please don't come back in here and say you started construction before you found out what the rules are.
No, I can guarantee you that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any other comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Is this gonna be, are we requesting 30 feet instead of 20? Or are we changing this from 30?
For E?
Yes.
I don't know. We'll see when we get there.
I just need to know what to read into the record.
It's 30.
30, we're
Yeah,
asking for 30 instead of 20?
Correct. 4D has been withdrawn. We're now at 4E.
4E is a request of Tanner Drennan for waiver of front yard setback from 40 feet to 30 feet. The property is located at 4508 Highland Woods Way, parcel ID 0018DA011. Property is zoned AG in the 8th Commission District.
And Mr. Graves, I'm sorry, is the applicant here? Is there any opposition to this? Come on up to the lectern. Anything from codes?
We have no comments.
If you could, please state your name and address for the record.
Yeah, Darrell Gibson, I'm the architect, 6936 Shadow Creek Road.
And if you could give us your rationale for requesting the variance.
We just need an extra 10 feet from the 40 down to 30 to be able to get the driveway in, and it's very, very steep, lot steeper than the last one we looked at. So there's a natural drainage. You can see that if we get too much further, we're going to be impacting that possibly, but mostly it's just the steepness of the lot right there. And we're trying to, the soils report where we're going to put the drain field is up to the north there. And so it kind of just leaves a spot right there in the middle and enough to get a driveway around an existing utility box that's right there in the middle. So that's the only reason is the steepness.
So is the sketch with the roundabout driveway, that's still correct? I mean, all that is correct?
Yeah, and there's a utility box right there in the middle of the circle.
Whose is this? Mr. Graves?
Didn't have any major questions. I mean, obviously, we're just looking at 10 feet here. Mr. Elliott, could you please just educate me a little bit more on why the 40 number exists? What is the purpose of that? What does that accomplish?
I think it was probably put in the ordinance years ago to, create uniformity in the zone. You think of the ag zone as large lots and structures typically sit back way from the streets. This parcel was developed under the ag zone, which is quite unique. Most subdivided subdivisions are PR or RA that would allow a 20-foot front yard setback. So I have no idea why it was 40 feet, but I suspect it was for uniformity and was designed for large lots, not considering topography challenges that this lot has.
Well, and I understand we've had some other variances in this neighborhood. These are all our large lots, so this would be characteristic with the neighborhood, correct?
Yes, if you look at the topo on KGIS, the roadways were put in along the spines of the ridges, and the parcels and the lots are all on the slope of the ridges. So it is a topographically challenged subdivision.
Yeah. Thank you. Those are my only questions, Mr. Chairman.
Miranda, can you, there it is. No, that drawing you had a minute ago. I can't read the numbers that are on the paper, but those two parallel lines, parallel to the property line, one of them says 40, the other says 20?
20.
That was the original, but they wanted to change it to 30. So just,
Yeah, we decided we didn't need to go to 20, so we moved
Okay.
it back another 10. So we're only asking for a 10-foot move from the 40-foot that is the actual setback.
I'm with you.
And there has been other houses in the neighborhood that have had approvals for the same reasons.
Any other discussion? Mr. Graves?
In that case, I will make a recommendation. We approve a waiver of front yard setback from 40 feet to 30 feet.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. I will add that the reason that we're considering this is because of topography and the irregular shape of the lot. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, the motion carries.
Thank you.
4F is a request of Fatima Al-Athari for waiver of periphery boundary from 35 feet to 20 feet. The property is located at 1384 Wineberry Road, parcel ID 037JB056. Property is zoned PR in the 7th Commission District.
Is the applicant here?
I'm not that applicant. He was representing myself.
Very well. Is there any opposition to this? Any statements from Knox County Codes?
We have none.
If you could, please state your name, name and address for the record.
Todd Zachary and 1384 Wineberry Road, the home you see there in the satellite photo.
You say you're representing them. Are you an architect or?
No, they were supposed to be representing me, but they're in Nashville, so they've been handling a lot of the paperwork. But since, I'm here in Knox County, they figured that'd probably be easier if I just came down here.
Okay.
I'm the homeowner.
You're the homeowner. They were the applicant. Okay, I got
Correct. Yes.
All right. If you could state for the record what your rationale is for requesting this.
Given the irregular geometry of the lot and meeting with HOA requirements of the, leading plane, the street-facing plane of the garage with that plane of the house, that's really the only place that this structure would fit while accomplishing the front setback from the street and the side setback to my neighbor's yard.
Okay, I'll say this just for the record. We have no interest in what the HOA requires. It has no bearing whatsoever on the deliberations of this body. So if any of this is based on HOA requirements, you need.
Not explicitly, no.
Okay. This is another peripheral setback.
yes, this is another periphery setback. It would be 15 feet for all the interior lots.
What is the zoning of the adjacent property on the other side of the periphery? Is that agricultural?
Agriculture.
Okay. The sketch that you have is, well, it tells us some, but it doesn't tell us everything we had questions about. Am I correct in assuming that the garage door is on the far end of the building away from the house?
That is correct, sir.
How are you going to get into that garage door?
Driveway that curves towards it.
there's no driveway there. There's a
No.
road there, but there's no driveway off of the road.
Not currently, as far as that drawing shows, but like there would be one poured.
Okay? Whose district is this? Ms. Garrett?
I think you already asked the question I planned on asking. Have you
Sorry.
spoken with your neighbors? Do they have any objections to this?
We had an HOA meeting about it, and
Okay.
but there's another house north of this one that has a second driveway that exits the house, and they said this, since that exists within the neighborhood, that would be acceptable to put the second driveway in.
Yeah, I did drive through that. I did see that.
Yep, there it is.
Yep.
Any other comments? Ms. Garrett?
All right. I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the waiver of the periphery boundary from 35 feet to 20 feet due to the topography and the irregular shape of the lot.
Second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, your application is approved.
Thank you for your time.
4G is a request of John Wendelken for waiver of front yard setback from 10 feet to 6 feet. The property is located at 9628 Tallahassee Lane, parcel ID 119HD005. Property is zoned RA in the 3rd Commission District.
Is the applicant, are you the applicant, sir?
I'm the applicant, not the property owner.
That's fine.
My name is John Welligan. I live at 925 Sewanee Road, which is not too far away from this property.
Okay.
And
Any comments from codes?
Just to say, I do appreciate them applying for a permit because I'm pleasantly surprised that they did. Normally, these signs just go up without one, so thank you for applying.
Yes. Well, we've applied for actually 4 permits. 3 have been granted, initially turned down, but we adjusted the parameters. We could do it, and then they're approved. This one was more difficult, so we're coming for a variance now. Now, situation here, we're just putting in some property signs. You can see up in the inset in the upper right-hand corner, the kind of sign it's going to be, just like a flagpole design, maybe 6 feet high total, maybe 7 in some locations. Our problem we want the sign to be visible to serve a purpose. And then we have things get in the way. This is an older subdivision from the 1960s. So it's not like having a clear field to go in like a new subdivision, put signs where you want. Our major problem is if we try to go up to the intersection, we found that there are 3 trees that would force us to come out closer to the property line than is allowed, and another utility pole, and a lot of utilities in the ground in that area. The owner prefers to go down to the south end of his property, south corner of his property. And so, okay, well, look at that. We've played with that for some months now. Looking at sight lines as you're driving up on Sanders Road, where the driver is, what they will see. This is a view from 150 feet. The driver would see at the location we're requesting, could finally see the whole sign. Initially, you couldn't see the whole sign. So this is the point you begin to see the sign. If you go further up, then it becomes very clear. Unfortunately, not showing up well there. Not bright enough, I guess. Let me zoom out. And signs over there peeking out from the flagpole, but the image is dark here.
Is that the sign that's just left of the power pole?
Yeah. It's sort of sitting back, it's further back from the street than the power pole, which is why you have an angle to view it. You have to see it around the power pole as you're coming up the street. So that's our obstacle, which we can't move on our own. And the utility company would not like to move it. They will someday move it.
The reason I asked that question is it kind of, if you hadn't told me that, I wouldn't even have known that was a sign. I mean, which has a lot of impact on my personal
Yeah.
thoughts on this.
It's not showing up well there. It's coming in very dark in this projection for some reason. But it is visible at 100 feet and even visible to a passenger just begins to see it at 100 feet because they're all closer to the street. So we've gone through looking at different lines. So what we're requesting here is rather than doing a 10-foot setback, make that a 6-foot setback. So we're asking for 4 feet to get the sign out to where it's visible.
So you want to be able to move it from 10 feet back to 6 feet back, right? Is that correct?
Right.
Mr. Belitz?
I don't see any problem with it. He's pretty well explained all the issues of it. So I make a motion that we waiver the setback from 10 to 6 feet.
Second.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? No. Hearing none, you have your waiver.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for applying for the permit.
Well, thought maybe I should.
4H is a request of Amy Scott for waiver of front yard setback from 35 feet to 25 feet and waiver of rear yard setback from 25 feet to 15 feet. The property is located at 2107 Tipton Station Road, parcel ID 148-10901. Property is zoned RAK in the 9th Commission District.
Are you the applicant?
I am.
Is there any opposition to this? No. If you could, please state your name for the name and address for the record.
My name is Amy Scott. I'm with Martin Legacy Development, and my address is 615 Win Courtney Drive, Atlanta, Georgia 30328.
Any statement from codes?
We have none.
I have a question for codes.
Yes.
I guess it's the zoning map, shows that this is one parcel,
Yes.
but the request shows that it's been split into 3 lots.
Yes, she's getting this variance first so she can split it into 3 lots. She could do 2, but to do 3, she needs a variance on this long strip that's proposed.
Okay. If you could tell us the reasons why you need the variance.
We would love to offer more homes, more housing in this area. In the knob of the property is where Lot 1 and Lot 2 are. We can easily get really nice multi-sectional homes, manufactured homes in those 2 lots. But Lot 3 would be the largest lot. It's like 0.64 acres, but because of the wetlands at the end, we would have to put the home in the more narrow strip of the land. And the irregular shape of it. Anyway, if we were able to get this variance, instead of just having a single section home, we would be able to have a multi-sectional home. And I actually have an update, if y'all want to see it, that shows the size house that we could actually get on it.
You say this is a manufactured home?
Yes, sir.
Yes, if you've got something you want to add, that would be fine.
Show you.
Yep,
Bring it up.
please, you may approach. Oh, okay. Pass that around. Oh. Pass that around.
We would also like you to consider on Lot 3, we would like to request an additional 5 feet in the back so that we could actually get a deck on the back.
You wouldn't need a variance for a deck, right? It could encroach into the setback
Oh, it could?
Yeah, if they do
if it's
15 feet,
unenclosed.
they can
Oh,
go.
okay.
You're saying on lot 1, is that correct?
No, I was talking about lot
Oh, lot-
3.
oh, lot three.
She wouldn't need a variance for
I
the
didn't
deck.
think- yeah, I
It
didn't
could
think so.
protrude into the setback.
Super.
Just make sure you don't enclose it.
Okay.
So from what I'm hearing, you're claiming, and it's obvious that this is a very shallow lot, and you have an exceptional physical feature, that being this no-build area around the drainage. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, since this is in my district, I will make a motion that we approve this for the fact that it is a shallow lot and there is a significant exceptional feature. And I think it should be approved as written.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? No? You have your variance.
Thank you, sir.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Please tell me you didn't come all the way from Georgia just to hear that.
I did.
Oh, my goodness. Well, have a good trip back. This is for I.
For I is a request of James Borst for waiver of Knox County 500-year floodplain from 855.50 feet to 848 feet. The property is located at 8510 Kodak Road. Parcel ID is 099-02102. Property is zoned AG in the 8th Commission District.
Are you the applicant, sir?
I am.
Any statement from codes?
As we talked about in the pre-agenda, is being part of the FEMA floodplain management program and getting flood insurance for other residents in Knox County, I'm required under that program to oppose this variance request.
Very well.
And that is to protect the other citizens that do have flood insurance.
Are there any questions for codes? Okay, if you could please state your name and address for the record, sir.
My name is James Borst. It's 8510 Kodak Road, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37914.
And can you tell us why you need this variance?
What happened in the process was, obviously, I've never built anything, and I have a contractor for the concrete, and also had a land survey to get all that done. So during the process, land surveyor came out, put a stake in the ground, put some orange tape around it, and said, if you're above this, you're good to go. I did have all the information of the 500-year floodplain. Apparently, I did not give that to the contractor or the land surveyor, and he did it on the 100-year floodplain. So I meet the 100-year FEMA floodplain requirement, just like my home, but I do not meet the 500 years, so I need to get that waiver from the, I believe I'm 248 to 254 or something like that.
I'm not sure whose district this is in. It might be mine. Oh, it's Mr. Graves.
Yes, he would need a variance, just to be clear, if you choose to give the variance, he would need a variance from 856.5 to 854.3. And we discussed the other municipalities' requirements, but if you've got questions, I can answer those here on the record.
So you're basically 2 feet, 3 inches too low. If my math is anywhere close to correct. Well, this is not unique. We've had other cases come before the board where people have built in the floodplain for a variety of reasons. It's intriguing, the fact that there's so many different floodplain requirements. The city has one, the state has another, Kodak has, or Sevier County has yet another, and Knox County has something else. The reason this is an issue for the board, giving us pause to concern, is that if we grant this variance, it could reduce the discount that we get for the flood insurance in Knox County. You could be affecting other people, not just yourself. That being said, because of the location of this and the issues that FEMA's concerned about as far as flooding, they're not really concerned about whether your house or your structure gets damaged. That's that's really not their concern. Their concern is that something's not going to come off of your building and get washed downstream
Yes, sir.
and cause damage to other people's buildings and structures. Did I say that correctly, Steve? Thank you. It's not a good situation, and it's one I struggle with. But I'll cease and desist until other people have a chance to weigh in, specifically Mr. Graves.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for your service as well.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we were all kind of curious the backstory on how it happened. You know, obviously we're dealing with very slim margins of error here, so it's easy to overlook something like that. So we were curious how it came to be. We are challenged because a yes vote could mean one thing, it could impact a lot of people. A no vote could impact you significantly. So we have to kind of weigh those things in the balance. But I think that's really all I had. You answered what happened with the backstory and how
Yeah, I mean,
things.
some of the issues that we had is that my land surveyor was trying to get in touch with someone in the office here. And apparently that person passed away. His name is Leo something or other. And so he kept waiting on that email to come back from him. And obviously it never came. And so we sat on that for almost over a year. And then that's when we found out that that's not been done. I got a piece of paper, it said permit on it, but I'm the one that signed it and had all the numbers on it. So, like I said, I'm familiar with the whole building process. And I think that's where some of the snafu came in as well. We got some more information from that before I actually built the building and did the concrete and all that. Probably would have been much more helpful, so.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you did most of your due diligence, and yeah, sometimes things just happen. So.
And I would add, Mr. Graves, Eddie Roberts, our longtime floodplain manager, passed away suddenly. And when our department struggled to get through that. We didn't get phone calls returned. We didn't get emails answered. We were kind of in disarray for probably 6 months till we got over it. Eddie had been with us for about 20 years, and it was a big task to overcome that. So.
Yeah, Eddie was my neighbor. I live on the same road.
Oh,
as
yeah,
his family,
that's right.
So, yeah.
Miranda, can you see this picture? Not that one. That one.
Yeah.
Looking at that picture, are both of those structures on the same floor elevation?
Yes, they're about the same level. According to the land surveyor, they're at the same level. They meet the FEMA requirement above 848.
When was the home built? It may have been built prior to.
I've been there probably about 11, 12 years now.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was a requirement for 100-year on the home, so I don't know if the assumption came up if they were the same. I don't know.
Which structure is it that we're talking about here?
The one in the back with
The one with the garage
back.
door.
The garage to the far.
Right.
Yeah.
It appears that the driveway leading to that structure is sloping down because there's a reveal on the, I guess it's a crawl space. The reveal on the crawl space on the structure to the left, or excuse me, to the right,
Yes, sir.
is sloping. So that driveway has to be sloping, assuming the floor is level. So it can't be on the same elevation as the house.
I don't have the tools for that. I used the little app and I looked at it and it's only off by a couple of inches. It does go up. The driveway does go up. I don't know if that's just a bad idea because rain runs off of it when it doesn't flood or anything like that, so.
Well, it appears.
I've seen it in person. It looks pretty flat all the way back. That picture is somewhat misleading.
So the reveal on that crawl space is, how does that explain it?
I don't know. It's negligible from what I've seen, just from the road there.
It does look downhill, but it is not.
Okay, well, it appears the house is probably at the right elevation, or an elevation that meets the requirements, but the shed is not. Okay, Well, Mr. Graves, what do you think?
Honestly, if this was, pre-built and we knew we needed to do a variance to adjust for something, I'd, feel differently. But with it sitting the way it is, I think it would be a significant burden to remove the structure and go a different path. So I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve the adjustment of the guidelines from 856.5 feet to 854.3 feet.
Just to be clear, we're waiving that guideline, not adjusting it, because
Okay,
we can't
okay.
make a change to
Understood.
that.
Understood. I make a motion that we waive the guideline.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those,
Is that going to be a problem, Steve?
Possibly. I think, as you know, we talked about in the pre-agenda, I can defend it in an audit that this structure is not habitable. It is still, if it was in the city, it would be allowed. If it was in Sevier County, it'd be allowed. So the two areas that flow into, so
if it was on state property, it would be allowed, right?
yes, yes. So I believe it's defensible, but it's always the chance that FEMA wouldn't buy that defense. But we can cross that bridge when we get there.
You're still 6 foot above FEMA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's correct. They're probably. What was the base flood, Miranda? Do you know?
848.
848.
848 is the FEMA base flood elevation.
Go back to Drew's letter. 848. Yeah. So they're still 6 feet above what FEMA would require.
Yeah, we talked about it. We have plenty of rationale for this not being a major issue with FEMA. So I like our chances. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Oh,
I got a question for Steve. How's that going to affect the insurance for the community area?
I mean, in an audit, we'll have to defend this variance, as stated. I think I can defend it. The city of Knoxville recently changed their requirements along the French Broad and the Holston to be 3 feet above the 100. So in this instance, the minimum in the city would be 851, just due to the width of the floodplain along those rivers, because there's an assumption made, worst case scenario, Douglas Dam or Cherokee Dam fails, that's the area that would flood.
Would it be prudent that?
I don't know if it's worth noting, but the city of Knoxville is actually in Knox County. So
yes,
the fact that it's good for them, not for us,
and there's been some talk of, we're going to review our ordinance as part of the UDO. So we may consider along these areas up here where, I mean, your lot's probably 300 foot deep and you're 250 foot away from the river here. So
That was going to be my suggestion. If you're not familiar with the UDO process, look it up and submit your feedback. They're taking it right now. So to take a look at those regulations to get them to match other municipalities would be a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Just to
and
avoid
it's
something
also,
in the future.
I think it's also worth noting that the city of Knoxville, being in the county of Knox, has less stringent requirements and they get a better discount. So there are a lot of reasons why this ought to be okay.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Move. You have your variance request.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. We go on to 5A. We deferred that one, 5B.
5B is a request of Chris Roulet for waiver of front yard setback from 35 feet to 18 feet fronting Scenic Valley Lane and waiver of front yard setback from 35 feet to 27 feet fronting Persimmon Lane. Property is located at 1600 Persimmon Lane, parcel ID 154GJ013. Property is zoned RA in the 4th Commission District.
Is the applicant here? If you could, please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Chris Rouleau. I'm 1600 Persimmon Lane.
Anything from codes on this?
Yeah, this is the one where I didn't want to at the meeting to correct his request because I wasn't for sure we've got two maps. So I was going to let him amend his request here at the podium.
Okay, this is two setbacks, front yard, because you have two front yards, technically, you have two setback requests. And you have updated a map.
This is the updated, yes.
Okay. So tell us why you need the variance.
We built the home in 1996 with a two-car garage, and it's a two-story house, no bedrooms on the main. We'd like to age in place, so we're asking for a variance to do, well, not on the right hand, your right, my right. We want to do a master bedroom on the main, and we want to go from a two-car garage to a three-car garage with some workspace on the left-hand side there. I got a survey done in the interim to find and place the missing pins, and this is derived from that survey. I have two front yards plus the house is rotated on the lot so that any wall that you moves actually towards two setbacks. So,
Okay. I applaud you for giving us such a detailed drawing. That's really nice. Thank you. I have a question for codes. I think Miranda. Miranda, what is the side yard setback for this lot?
12 feet.
12 feet. So if Scenic Valley Lane, the side next to Scenic Valley Lane, were actually a side yard, it would be in compliance, correct?
Correct.
And this corner lot, two front yard thing is going to be addressed in the UDO, we think?
Yes, we've already got our preliminary drawing.
So if the UDO gets passed, Persimmon Lane would not be an issue according to this map. Is it?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. So, but right now, technically, it is a front yard. Whose district is this?
Mr. Chairman, this is mine. I've driven by I've driven by here several times. And on one day, probably sat outside for 30 minutes, looking at both of them. While I did not see another house situated on a piece of property like this, yours is quite odd, no disrespect. I also did not see any houses that are that close to the road as it sits today. I understand what you're wanting to do, and unless codes sees a reason down the road that this would be creating an issue.
I don't see one. The visibility triangle would be there for sight distance. I don't see any issues it would create for us.
Sir, have you spoken to your neighbors about this?
Yes, lot 12 and lot 2. They've asked me what's going on with the sign in the yard and stuff like that.
Sure.
I said I'm considering doing those additions. They didn't have a problem. I don't have any letters or anything, but they didn't.
Okay.
They were aware of the, public nature of the meeting, so they.
Ideally, I'm not a fan of these, but strictly based off of how the house sits on the lot, like you said, if you move any wall at all, you're moving it towards a road. Based on that hardship alone, I would make a motion to approve the waiver of the front yard setback from 35 feet to 18 feet fronting scenic, and a waiver of the front yard setback 35 to 27 on Persimmon as it sits today.
Say that again, what was your
16
proposal
and
on
26.
Scenic Valley?
It states 35 feet to 18 feet.
The drawing, I think, shows we need to go down to 15. Is that not correct?
No, we could round that 15.92
15.92.
to 16, and we can round the 26.65 to 26. I think that
You don't want to round
No,
that
we,
up.
yeah,
You
we want to
it
round down.
Okay.
We want to round down, not up.
We want to go 15 feet off of Scenic Valley and no more than 26 feet
Okay.
off of Persimmon.
Yeah, we don't want to be back in here for a half-foot variance
No.
in 6 months.
No, no,
That's right.
I'm just a humble scientist who
yeah.
who works in.
So I'd make a motion to waiver the front yard from down to 15 and on 20, what was it,
26.
26.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
That is the last thing on the agenda. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.